Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Every Movie Ever podcast. My name is Ben Groves.
And my name is Rob McFarlane. We just got done recording our audio episode on 2011's Thor by Marvel Studios.
Make sure you go listen to that on all the audio platforms everywhere.
Available everywhere in all good, reputable podcast platforms. But while we were recording that episode, there was one question which we didn't quite get around to that I'd love to address with you, Ben.
Hit me.
And you really enjoyed Thor much more than I did. I thought it was fine.
I did.
But here's my question for you. If this wasn't a Marvel movie and this character wasn't Thor, if this was just some high fantasy elf dude with a magic electric screwdriver, would you care? Would you care?
Ooh, that's a good question, because the answer is no.
Thanks for joining us.
Roll credits. No, that's a good question. You know, I'm not big into fantasy, like, at all.
No.
I kind of feel like, to a certain degree, you have to be invested in the source material for this to make sense. Like, for Thor
Right.
2011 to make sense, you have to have already been invested in the Marvel franchise to an extent, whether it's the comic books or whether it's the previous three movies. If it's just a standalone film with nothing before it and nothing after it, it's a shit film because it opens like 6 doors. It doesn't finish any of the storylines. It just opens up like tons of possibilities. It doesn't do anything else with it.
Okay, so my follow-up question then is, do you judge Marvel movies on the same terms that you judge other movies? Or do we make an exception? Do we go, for a Marvel movie, it's okay?
Okay.
Why do they get a free pass? What is it about Marvel movies that makes you judge them in a separate category?
It's down to growing up with the man, growing up with the comic books,
Right.
being familiar with the stories, the characters, forming a sort of, not a relationship, but sort of a fondness for these characters in early life. It, like, up until Endgame, I was so invested in Marvel, in the MCU, because it was just just pure nostalgia. It was just pure, like, here's a banger, here's a banger, here's a banger, and it's all about comic book characters that you grow up loving, right? Whereas now, everything feels like a cash grab because the main story arc's gone, the main purpose of the fucking thing's gone. Now they're calling it the multiverse saga, which just literally means every possibility is endless. There is no consequence to anything because there is an infinite number of alternate outcomes.
Yeah, Tony Stark could come back. The only thing stopping Tony Stark from coming back at this point is a writing decision.
Yeah, Thanos is the same though. Thanos could come back tomorrow and then just it's Endgame all over again. Like, it's mental to me that they've taken something with such high stakes, made us invest in it for so long, and then just went, oh yeah, but none of it really mattered though, because we could do it an infinite number of times. None of that matters. It's all good, mate. So to answer your question, yes, I do. Now I do judge them differently to other movies, but I also judge them differently to how I judged them before Endgame. So pre-Endgame, they got a lighter pass because I was like, I know the stories, you know what I mean? I know the characters, I know the comic books. Like, I'm good for this. Like, I'm already halfway there. The film is to just sort of like, I'm walking into the theater with a smile on my face. The film is there to just finish me off. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay. Yeah. You're committing to the metaphor.
Yeah. Endgame happened, and it's like the big finish. You know what I mean? That's like
happy Endgame.
That's the happy Endgame. There you go. That's the one. See, it tracks. And then post Endgame clarity is like, well, this is just wank now. Like, what have I been investing my time in? So now I judge them much harsher.
It's just wank now. Okay, if we're going to commit to this metaphor, I'm going to give you my perspective on it. It's probably going to give the viewer far more insight into our separate sexual experiences. But I feel like, if we're saying Endgame was the orgasm, right?
Sure. Yeah.
The thing that I enjoyed about everything pre-Endgame was the potential for how good it was going to be.
Same.
Every little Easter egg that I saw, I was like, wow, what are they going to do with that?
Yeah,
How is that going to be good? There was this massive catalogue of things that I'd already seen in the comics. So I had this great longing to see that brought to the screen.
Yeah,
and
buddy.
I wanted to see how they dealt with it. I can't wait to see this. I can't wait to see that. Yeah. I'm still waiting for a Fantastic Four adaptation that kind of tickles my pickle.
Stop it.
But that potential was what was exciting.
Yeah.
Endgame happened. It was a lovely thing. And I was like, okay, I'm satisfied. I'm smoking my post-happy Endgame cigarette.
Sure.
but all the potential's gone. It's like, do you want to go again? I'm like, kind of done. You know, like, your money, your bus fare's on the mantelpiece. Like, I'd quite like to.
Jesus. All right. Well, your metaphor ended very, very differently to mine, but that's fine. But what do you what do you say? Do you judge Marvel movies differently to normal movies, or do you hold them up to the same merit as, I don't know, like your favorite movies being Magnolia, Othello, Henry V?
I hate you.
Would you?
I like Shakespeare, but I hate Magnolia.
Would you hold Marvel movies up to the same standards as those, or do you give them a pass?
No, so I judge movies based on I judge everything based on what it was trying to do, right? If I hire a plumber and he does incredible trapeze work,
sure,
I'm annoyed, right? I've called you because my toilet is leaking shit. I don't care how well you're juggling, right?
But it's not clogged anymore, mate.
Right, but like if my toilet's also unclogged and no longer leaking and he's juggling, maybe he gets a clap. But like you have to do the thing that I've hired you to do. Okay. If I look at Marvel, I don't judge Marvel movies next to Othello as like I don't judge it next to Oldboy, like I don't judge it next to Bridesmaids. Do you know what I mean? I go, okay, what is this movie telling me it's going to do?
Right.
Has it followed through? Has it provided what it set out to do? Or has it changed its mind halfway through? Or has it like completely flopped at its own? It sets the expectations. The movie sets my expectations and it's on the movie to fulfill them. And I think with Marvel, I just have different expectations of it's going to be a fun family blockbuster.
Okay.
That can have a little depth at times.
Right,
and when they give that depth, and they don't have to, it's the barman making my cocktail who throws the little shaker and does a little spin.
Right.
My drink's not any better for it, but it's quite nice to see. Right?
Okay. I can appreciate
if the drink is shit, I don't care how many times you spin it. And so for me, Marvel has to be a fun family blockbuster. And the extra writing is nice.
Did you get that from Thor?
I did, but it was literally just a pint of beer.
Hey, man, pint's a pint. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think there are later films that have got umbrellas and little tiny toucans sat on the rim of the glass and like salt rims and spherical ice cubes. And I can't wait to get into that.
Sure.
But hey, a beer's a beer, you know?
Yeah, man. That's all it is. That's all it is. I judge Thor 2011 much softer than I should do. And that's why I'm fucking so invested
you're an
phase
older man,
one
mate,
so far. You're older than me. I'm the fucking baby of this show. You're the old man. All right?
By about 2 weeks, but yeah.
Don't you fucking forget it. All right? Guys, thanks for hanging out with us. We will be dropping these little tidbits fairly regularly. If you like the video, make sure you like and subscribe.
Go listen to the audio show.
Go fucking listen to the audio show.
Go listen to the audio show. It's available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We will be producing highlights from that here on YouTube, as well as these little extra bits that don't appear in the show. But if you've got this far, there's a whole show about this whole film that you should go check out.
Drop a comment down below to be part of Comment Corner. It's a section of the show that we read out every week. Super easy to be a part of. Drop us an email, drop us a comment, do whatever you want to do. But we love you. Okay, bye.
Love you, bye.